Welcome back to a new video. I haven't done a commentary in a while, and I figured this would be a good opportunity to do it since I don't really have anything going on tomorrow other than driving up to see family and getting a new barbell. So I suppose I can talk about that first. The reason for getting a new barbell is the Vulcan barbell that I have at the gym is slightly bent now, not enough to where I can't do heavy lifts on it. The last couple weeks it's been in that state, and I've done the 125, 160, and last week 120, 150 heavy squats and pulls and stuff like that. So it's nothing that you notice with it, but I had the opportunity to get a nice, it's a Alico Performance bar I'm getting from my friend up north when I'm there. So I'll be keeping that bar at the house. And then if you have any ideas about ways to put a cover on it or something, I saw a $55 barbell bag from Rogue, which is I think the cheapest thing I saw other than just a ghetto blanket that I put on it. But I want to put some sort of covering on it so it doesn't rust as much. But the bar that you're seeing in the video, the weightlifting house bar, I will take to the gym and then essentially just use that. At some point, my good friend Justin is going to take the Vulcan bar from the gym to his house when he gets a gym set up there. So that bar will eventually go with him. Like I said, the bar works fine. I'm just, I just very much like nice equipment and kind of have an excuse to give one. I was thinking about it for a while, and now that there's a flaw in the bar, kind of gives me an excuse to do that. But want to have the nice bar at the house since I'll still be able to lift there a lot, but do want to put some sort of covering on it to prevent rust. Even though it's Alico, it will still rust. It will just hold up pretty well. Honestly, the weightlifting house bar has been pretty nice. The only, I guess, downside has just been a little bit of the rust, but that's nothing to really do with the bar. That's more so to do with the fact that my shed lets in a lot of moisture and it's just a lot of humidity in the air, which is obviously not good for barbells, but it still functions perfectly fine, as you probably see with the various sessions I do at my house. Training overall has been going well. I'm kind of at the end of kind of a block, I suppose. I kind of think of it in kind of 3-week repeating blocks, and I always find that that's been pretty useful. So I kind of push really hard, and then the third week is kind of like the heaviest of it. I think might be kind of the fourth. I don't really put a hard number on it, but I essentially get to the point where it's like, all right, like I can't really push the heavy lifts anymore, where it's becoming inconsistent to get up to the heavy lift, and then I'll drop back down, which is kind of the goal next week. It's kind of a good transition point anyway, because this week's a little bit weird with Thanksgiving happening. So I don't have school tomorrow or for the rest of the week. And so tomorrow I'm going to go up to get the barbell near my family. And so I'll probably do a training session up there. And then obviously Thanksgiving, I'm not going to try to do anything. Friday, I also will most likely not be doing any training. So then Saturday, I'll be back down south with the new barbell, which will be at the house. So I'll probably end up using the weightlifting house bar at the gym because I'll take it there then for the heavy session. So I'm hoping that, I don't know how I'll lift tomorrow, but I just mostly want to use the new barbell. I kind of have the tentative goal to do a lot of different lifts because I won't be lifting Thursday or Friday, and so I'll be able to push pretty hard like I did today on tomorrow, and then have 2 days off, and then be able to go pretty hard on that Saturday, and then do a full reset and kind of just go back. And the training sessions will mostly be the same. Like I want to continue to do block work even throughout the winter because I feel like that's just really useful for me, and I really like doing them. Not so much for the cleans, but for the snatches, I feel like it's just really fun to do, but I also feel like it's a good position for me to practice at, and it's not bad for cleans as well for me to practice at because it's difficult for me to do. But so blocks will stay into the program or in my training as much as I can. Obviously, the exception to that if it's exceptionally cold, so that will kind of be hit or miss, and probably the next 2 or 3 months as the winter really takes full hold. But it's still manageable for the most part. And like today, it was like almost 55 degrees, so definitely manageable in that regard. But the rest of the week, I'm kind of playing around with how I want to adjust things. That's one of the nice things if you have kind of a progression like I have. It's 3 weeks or 4 weeks, and then you reset. You can kind of make adjustments, change sessions a little bit while keeping the overall program the actual same. It gives you a chance to kind of adjust and adapt. One of those obviously adjustments is the block work, whether that's going to be there or not. I'll have to make adjustments with that, but that's kind of depends on the weather. literally. And the other one adjustment that I would like to make is to have a day where I do jerks from the block, which with the setup at the gym, at the actual physical gym space now, I will have to 100% do them at the house if I'm doing like block work for the jerks, or even out of the rack. If you've seen any of my squats when I'm at the physical gym, I have to squat in the cage, so there's not a way for me to do them from the rack unless I literally brought the squat racks to the gym, and that's not really worth it to me because of, I would just basically commit me to always being there to do all my lifting. And I could bring my cheaper racks that I have in the house, but that's why I kind of bought them, is so I have them for the house. If I'm ever doing a light session, it's super cold, and I don't want to go to the gym, I have the house gym for that. But um, that would be one ideal session. And like I said, for the blocks, it depends on the weather for these next couple months, but definitely want to keep them in. I feel like a lot of my numbers are starting to move in the right direction. Like the other week, I was able to do the 125, 160, albeit not the prettiest of lifts, but they are, starting to inch up. And being able to make the 125 after struggling with the 120 and it's really just not extending fully. And it was the same kind of thing on the block snatches on this day where I just wasn't fully extending. And then the next day I was able to figure out that with the 115 after missing a couple times to that full extension and really just using my back, which was getting me to fully extend, or at least thinking about extending fully with my back, got me to use my legs. Feel like I was talking in circles there, but hopefully you get what I mean. Squats and stuff have been going well. I've also noticed I've lost a bit of weight, so I've been closer to 105 kilos, and I've even been a little bit under that. So uh, holidays are perfect for getting back up. I ate a ton of food yesterday, so I don't necessarily want to lose weight, but I want my lifts to go well, and so I'm kind of treating it in the fact that I'm going to be still training hard. So I want to be eating a lot of food to, in theory, be in a caloric surplus, but not to be in a deficit. Mostly just to focus on the recovery aspect. So I don't necessarily care if I gain weight or if I maintain, but I want to be eating enough to where my sessions feel good and I feel like I'm getting stronger. And I feel like I haven't been as good about that these last couple weeks. And thankfully, like I said, at the holidays, caloric surpluses are quite easy to come by. And I'm always getting fed extra food by the family as well. But after next week, I'll be dropping back down and doing more volume with some of these same exercises, and so not pushing to quite such heavy weights. But then it'll be kind of a 3 week progression. I kind of have the weeks planned out to where I hope to be able to push back up to heavier weights and hit a little bit more volume in the back squat. I've been really liking the clean plus front squats. It seems kind of like psychopath behavior, but it's honestly like a nice challenge, and I feel like it's been helping my cleans and been helping my just clean and jerks in general with those lifts. I don't know why it feels nice to do those versus just doing squats or front squats out of the rack, but I kind of want to just continue to hammer them and not necessarily focus on doing any front squats out of the rack and just continue to get some AMRAP type sets with the clean plus front squat, whether it's from the blocks or from the floor or whatever, and kind of use that as my front squat volume. And I have some plans to do like some lighter cleans and do multiple sets with that. So should be fun behavior because I don't know, I'm a psychopath in that regard. Back squats, continue to kind of do how I've done. The one difference is I want to push some doubles and triples a little bit more. Still kind of push heavier with those and kind of use those as kind of like my general leg strength, and then obviously the clean plus front squat more of my specific leg strength and positional strength for the actual lifts. Um, as far as other accessories, like I mentioned, the block jerks and the blocks that you're seeing here as general accessories, but pulls and some rows. And I plan to continue benching. Benching's been actually feeling pretty good, so I don't have any plans to stop bench pressing anytime soon. But we'll be dropping back down to do some volume as well, and really just continue to kind of hammer things. I mean, the adjustments that I am needing to make with training, I don't feel like are too major, and I feel like things are going better. My IT band hip thing is feeling a little bit better. My shoulder's been feeling pretty good, so I just want to continue to push and try to improve technique and all of the little things. But just been really happy with training lately. Life in general has been going well, so I got no complaints there. But there's always things that you can look to improve and optimize, whether it becomes training or life in general. So hopefully those things like sleep and eating and all the different things I can continue to improve upon, and hopefully be ready to do the competition that I skipped this year in the spring, and be able to hit some big numbers. I think if I'm doing heavy sessions on the Saturdays and I'm able to start to push to make 130s and 165s on a consistent basis as far as the snatch and clean and jerk, then I'll definitely feel like I'm ready. But I'm just kind of, I'm getting relatively close to those numbers, and I'm feeling like I'm pretty confident in being able to do those. But the first step is obviously, not to have so many misses, to be able to make 120s really routine in the snatch, to make 160s really routine in the clean and jerk, and maybe do a 170 jerk. Like there's numbers that I want to still be able to hit before I really want to think about solidifying that competition. But really, a lot of it is not just hitting a certain number, but trying to make those numbers consistent, but also feel good. So like making 120s feel like 110 snatches, and as far as how they look and how they feel, and making 160 clean jerks how 150s are, and making 170 cleans and jerks and stuff like that, and start to push towards that number, because that would be a really nice number to be able to hit at that competition, because the goal is still a 300 total. But I feel like even more so now than even a month or two ago, that I'm on the cusp of really starting to push to some big numbers, and be able to consistently hit those big numbers. Because it's one thing to randomly snatch 130 on a random day, but if I can kind of plan every 3 weeks, I can get up to that, and be consistently attempting it, and making kind of like how 125 went the other week, kind of making it kind of ugly, but then working to make it better. Then I think things will continue to move in that direction, because the competition idea or the plan of the numbers is to open at 125 or 126, and then probably honestly at 125, and then go right to 130, and then try something above 130, because I mean 135 is my best ever snatch, and if I could do that in a competition without straps and without a big press out like I did the last time I did it, that would be fantastic. But there's a lot of work to be done before I get to that point. And same with clean jerks, getting up to that 170 mark. If I can open at like 163 and then go right to 170, I feel like clean jerks in a competition, I can not just like guarantee a number, but I feel like it's a lot easier to get up to those. But I also record this commentary before I edited any of the clips together, so I apologize if this has a lot of blank space at the end. But I just wanted to get a little commentary in since I haven't had one in a while. But I think I'll stop rambling here, and I do appreciate the support and the comments and stuff on the videos. It always makes my day to see that people are seeing the lifts and enjoying it, and are able to talk shop, because lifting's fun. It's my big interest. But hope you're all having a good day, and have a good Thanksgiving, and get some extra turkey and all of that good stuff. I know I'll be eating as much as I physically possibly can, and a little bit more so, because there's going to be a lot of good food. So I'm excited about that. And yeah, I'll talk to you all the next time whenever I decide to make another commentary. But I'm always quite active in the comments, so always feel free to leave feedback there, and whatever else you feel like. But that's it for now. Talk to you all in the next one, and I hope you all have a great day. Peace.